Momversations.
It was, of course, definitely, as a mother, you're the first one to find out that you're having a baby. But maybe to do a recap, after marriage, one of the things that I discovered I was so scared of was pregnancy. Like with all the myths, with all the stories that I had had, especially from those that had gone ahead of me in motherhood, definitely it was scary. Okay, the thought of being a mother, the thought of pregnancy, the thought of delivery was also fearful. So I found myself running away from pregnancy for almost 9 months until pastors in church started asking, mom started asking, what is happening? When are we seeing, baby? And all that, those questions that come after marriage. People just expect that it is marriage and then next babies and motherhood and parenting and all that. So Rev began pushing me into it and saying, I think it's time. You need to be ready. We need to get a child and all that. So it was not something that it was, just pap. For me, it was a process that I had to go through, of which I delayed myself in so many ways. Ile kupostpone, next month I'll be ready. Next month I'm going to be ready. So it was almost 9 to 10 months after marriage, and then that is now when I conceived. I was ready, not really ready, but ready now to become a mother. So we definitely had the needful done, the contraception gone, and then now we started in the journey of conception, which by finding out, most of my pregnancies have been very picky on food, picky on smell, picky on especially food and smell a lot. So I was busy making my normal pancakes, cinnamon pancakes. Until today, I don't like cinnamon from that time. But before then, I used to like cinnamon. So I was doing my cinnamon pancakes. And that day, during the cooking, I was like, what on earth is this cinnamon smelling like? I didn't like the smell at all. I hated this till today. I don't like cinnamon at all. So I didn't like the smell of cinnamon at all that day. And I was like, what's happening? How come? I've never had an issue with cinnamon. And then that day, sijui jirani alikuwa anapika. And those plot tents, what you're cooking, we have to exchange notes. I'll just know by the smell. So that day, my neighbor was cooking something. I also felt the kitungu and whatever he was cooking or she was cooking was smelling awful. So that was my first suspicion. And then in the evening when Rev came, I told him I am just suspecting so many things are not okay. And today I've been, not liking the smell of cinnamon. I didn't like what my neighbor is cooking. And that was 1 month down, almost a month down after the contraceptive gone. So in that sense, that's when now the next day we woke up, I bought the kit, pregnancy kit. And then we did the testing together. So he found out the same time I did. And then it was positive. Yes. It was exciting, of course. A lot of excitement. One, it's a journey that both of you don't know. And it's a journey that you're into. So first babies usually come with a lot of excitement, and on receiving the news, it was definitely exciting. Remember, I was so scared of conceiving, and also delaying the milestone of contraception removal and entering the thing of conception. And so after conception, it only took a few weeks, like a month or so. Then we found out that we were expecting our first baby. So it was the news was received with a lot of excitement, with a lot of thanksgiving, because the fact that you're married does not automatically mean that you're going to be a mother. does not automatically mean that both of you are going to be parents. There's challenges that come with that. So it was like a relief, a moment of joy, a moment of excitement, a moment of wow, trying already. Now you're carrying someone, you're expectant, you're going to be a mother very soon. How is this journey going to be? How is he going to look? How is she going to look? So it was a lot of emotions that I would sum them up as we received them with a lot of excitement and a lot of joy. Hey, it did. It did in so many ways. Being normal, being your normal self without pregnancy is very manageable. You know how to handle yourself. You know how to handle your when you're not okay, when you just know yourself. You have already studied yourself for the years that you have been with yourself. For us it's like 40 something years, and so in 40 years huwezi niambe ujijui, of course, as a woman, as a mother, and as a person generally. So it humbled me because it comes with a lot of emotional, physical, mental changes that you're not anticipating. Some of them are not even nice. Like the issue of now, I had a lot of issues with food. I puked a lot. I puked from day one to the day I was delivering. So I had to choose. A lot of my favorite foods had to go. One of them was cinnamon. Cinnamon, forgive me, but I don't know what happened from then until today. I don't like anything with cinnamon. But sometimes I try. It doesn't really come out well. It's divorced. We divorced 15 years ago. My firstborn is 15. So it really, really humbled me. I loved, till today I love fries, chips, chipo. I love them. So at that particular time, it humbled me in physical changes, mental changes. Today you wake up, you're happy. The next few minutes, you can't even tell what happened to your moods. You're unhappy, you're all over, you want to cry. Something small is major. Okay, so it really did humble me. I came to realize that pregnancy is not a joke. It's not anything that anyone should jump into without preparation. I even wonder those that find themselves there without much preparation, like you're married now and the next thing should be bringing forth your children, how they handle it. So for me, it really did humble me. I came to realize that so many things change. You become so different from your normal self, and sometimes it's not in the best way possible that you anticipated. Mm-hmm. I love fashion, and I started loving fashion from a long time ago. But during our first baby, and the years of our first years of marriage, counting them down, we had a very humble beginning. As much as I loved fashion, as much as I loved everything to do with the good looking, smartness and all that, I really had no choice but to manage with what I had. The luck I had was, naturally, I was tiny. I was a tiny bodied girl. So I found myself still fitting in as the pregnancy proceeded. I found myself still fitting in the outfits that I had while I was not yet a mother, a married woman who was not yet a mother. So I found most of those outfits could still fit me. But I tried to flow in the fashion at that particular time, though mfuko saa ingine ilikuwa inakataa. Yeah, so I tried with the fashion. I really did. Also, my body favored me because I did not add so much. I kept on going for clinics and my antenatals, are they? Yes, antenatal clinics. I had a challenge of always being told you need to add weight, you need to eat more, you need to. One of the challenges being little, being petite, that I never got, and I thank God, that must have been God, was I never had issues with the blood. my blood was always, I had the required, it's a 11 point something thereabout, and I always exceeded it, and I was thereabout. So the issue was the weight. I was adding weight very little. I think for 9 months I added only 2 kgs in my pregnancy journey, and while I was getting married I was 48 kgs. Yes, so you can tell you I got up to 50 kgs while with my first baby. So the clothes I used to wear as a girl fitted me into pregnancy, most of them, and I tried also balancing with the way money would allow. Nine months of hating so many things that you used to love. I stopped using perfume. Yes, absolutely. I remember the time I went back to roll-on. You can imagine, roll-on was after I gave birth. Because you see, also, I after giving birth, I remember sweating a lot. I don't know if it happens to other mothers, but that's the time I realized, I need something to apply on myself. But during pregnancy, I went off any lotions. I used the natural petroleum jelly that had no scent. I went off perfumes. I went off roll-ons. I went off using detergents. Anything that had any scent, I went off it. And this is the thing. Aside from leaving the things that I love, I remember I'm a sweet tooth. Like majority of everything that I loved, chewing, the chewing gums would taste so weird. The only thing that applied to me as a sweet then was Patco, the white one. That one was magic. It used to help me really, really when I needed some sugar additions on my body. So I went off so many of the things that I loved. I used to use toothpaste and it tasted so bad. I went to using salt for brushing. Rev would have to apply perfume outside the house while going. Roll on outside the house while going. And the first thing he comes in the house, he has to shower before anything. And sometimes men look at this as an exaggeration. It actually is not an exaggeration. Because anytime I would smell anything that is not actually pleasing to my nose at that particular time, I would puke. So that is not pretense at all. So men need to understand women when it comes to that particular season, and just, wavumilie wa mama and their wives for those 9 months. So the journey was tough. As I said, I puked from day one, that day of cinnamon, till the day I was still in the labor ward. I was vomiting over what? I don't know. The food there was not pleasing. As I was going to push my baby out, I literally had nothing in my tummy. The advices I was getting, make sure you have Fanta. Fanta could not go down my throat. It was too sweet at that particular time. And now, Fanta Orange is my favorite soda from time in memorial. I remember that was my favorite soda. It still is my favorite soda. So you'd be advised you need to have glucose. Glucose was not working. So, and you see, during the labor, puking and pushing. So while I was going to push, I was actually on an empty stomach. So my journey of pregnancy I became so weak. I became so body-wise because I was not eating well. I would pick on the fruits. Today I'd want mango, and tomorrow I wouldn't want it. Today, matter of fact, I developed a certain liking for pawpaw. I don't know how and I don't know where. So I had this guy along where we used to live that time in section 3 Sili. That guy, I just loved the way he would mix the fruits. But in any particular day, I would eat all of them, and another day I would just not eat some. Some would taste funny for me. That's pregnancy. It comes with ups and downs and all that. But I remember what was really, really challenging on me was the love for the things that I loved. I would not pass near a cafeteria that was making fries. I would wonder, what are they cooking? And what is that oil that they are using to cook? So for me, pregnancy really detached me from the things that I loved a lot, mostly. That was, the challenge I really faced with it. And then I discovered that I can eat njahe that is just boiled. I can eat githeri that has no oil, no onion, nothing, and would really enjoy it. I would just take strong tea with a teaspoon, and sometimes plain strong tea with lemon. That was my journey. It was a bit challenging, and that's why I think I really added very few kgs during my first pregnancy. And I did a lot of napping because I think my body also was weak. I would find myself falling asleep because of the body weakness. I thank God because my blood levels never went down. How? I don't know. Rev was also very up and particular. That time, still evangelist Bernard Akama, he was very particular on seeing to it that I eat what I want. Most of the indigenous foods, ngwashe, nduma, boiled, githeri, njahe, and all that, they had to come. Probably would be curious to ask, is it the same food that the man of God was eating? He happened just to flow. And when he wanted to cook his own food, he would make sure I'm not in the house that particular time. Somehow, he just had to cook and manage the condition and the situation at that time because he saw the dire challenges I was going through. It was no pretense. So he just managing them. Tukikula ngwashe, tunakula pamoja. We eat nduma, we eat together. We eat githeri that is not fried, we eat together. So he flew with me on that journey, and I thank God we made it. And that particular baby right now is 15 years. During pregnancy? Oh, as I said, dislike so many things. This thing that people say they even dislike people, I didn't see it and I never wanted to, because I imagined not liking someone that I liked for no apparent reason. So what my baby made me do a lot is detach from the things. I did not eat the foods I loved, mostly like fries. I used to eat a lot of fries. I don't know how. So I used to eat a lot of fries. I stopped. I used to be a sweet tooth. I stopped. I used to be someone who loves perfume, smelling correct. I used to love Starsoft. I used to love cleaning my house. I still am a clean freak, a perfectionist. Pillow ifai kukaa hivi, but I have adjusted with the family right now, especially with marriage. You meet with socks on the doorway. You have just to have patience for that as a perfectionist. So I stopped using detergent for quite some time. How was I cleaning the house? With plain water. Yes. I was using plain water without any detergent because I couldn't stand the smell of Jik, couldn't stand the smell of Starsoft, couldn't stand the smell of Omo and all those detergents. Anything that had any scent, I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand them. So what did my baby help me? What was the question again? Oh yeah, it really made me distance myself from the things that I loved. Yes. Of course, that one happens to everyone that is a first-time parent. Definitely. This thing I tell Rev, and he never gets to understand how it happened. One, when just to start off from when I began my labor, I carried Asha for 42 weeks. That was an extension of the normal 40 weeks that are medically right. So I went to 40, I went to 41, and I went to 42 weeks until now I had to be induced because the baby was stayed overly too long before I delivered. I got the, what do you call them? The zinaitwa nini, the pains for delivery. I'll get the name along the way. So I went to hospital, which was an appointment, 42 weeks, and then I was induced. In the induction, I hear people say induction takes so long and all that. Induction is painful and all that. For me, in 3 hours, I had my baby after induction. I say again, it was God. Again, being the petite person I was being told, you automatically cesarean section. God came through for me. I went through a normal delivery. So with the labor and the puking and the body weakness and the travail and the pain of giving birth, I expected after that. Now the baby is here. I've pushed and I've been given my baby. I'm in my bed. I'm in the recovery ward. I expected the thing that should have been was I should have been so tired. But guess what? I gave birth to my baby at around 11:30 in the night, and my eyes were wide open till morning when Rev came to see me at around 6:30 a.m. I did not sleep a wink. Reason being, I was afraid someone would steal my baby. Yeah, so those are some of the fears that are input in us. If you're not careful, you go to the washroom. I did not go to the washroom after delivery. Not a moment. I stayed on that bed for the whole, from 11, say around 12:30 when I was brought in the recovery room, till morning. When Rev came is when I went to the washroom because I left him with the baby, and then he came with my mom. That time my mom had not yet gone to the States. So he came with my mom. At least I had some people who would, watch over the baby. So, people I can trust. And that is now when I walked into the washroom comfortably. Okay, so moving on from there, I was discharged the same day. Normal delivery, the sweetness and the beauty of it is that you get discharged the same day. So the pediatrician came, looked at the baby was okay. I saw everything that I needed to see in that child. I got to see the birthmarks. He had some birthmarks on the face, of which I was told that I was eating a lot of pili. That's why the baby got those birthmarks on the face. I don't know how much about it, but I don't remember eating pili a lot. I used to, but I not that much. So I got everything then. So going home, now it's time to endure and enjoy the journey of being a first-time mom. So even if before the baby cries, you already have seen him awake because you're always peeping to see if amejifunika na blanketi. Those myths you're being told. Mtoto atajifunika na blanketi. So you have to always keep watching them. You have to always be there. You have to always, look out for them. So that was the thing of, first-time motherhood and always checking up on them. The colics were there. The 3 months of sleepless nights were there. And then another thing about me, where I don't know if it is a postnatal depression, or I don't know. I wouldn't want to look at it that way, but I lose milk for almost 3 months after delivery. So I didn't have milk. So sometimes I tend to think probably my children always cry between the day of delivery to the first 3 months because our shibi, okay, they are hungry or something. So definitely the ups and downs, the checking whose nose is it, mtoto atakuwa mweusi ama mweupe, the way we are told to check behind the ears, those funny bits. Ukiona masikio ni nyeusi atakuwa mweusi hata kama ni mweupe, okay? So we checked on all that. It was a beautiful journey, though very challenging, though very tasking, though very engaging, very tiring. Sleepless nights were there because the baby would cry out of colic and out of hunger. We tried the bottled milks. They never worked for Asha. He never wanted. But after 3 months, I discovered that I now started getting enough flow of milk, which now slowly by slowly the baby began to adapt to being with us in this world. Okay. Restless nights were there. I don't miss them. because I'm one person, being a boarding person. Boarding people love sleep because that is one of the things that we were deprived. And I was deprived of good sleep from class 5 all the way to form 4. I was in boarding from class 5. So I love my peaceful 8-hour sleep. Musinisumbue, with my sleep. That 8 hours is very important to me because during the day I'm this kind of a person who never naps. I don't have sleep during the day. So when I'm resting for my 8 hours, I love them good. So at that particular time, restlessness, baby is here. Of course, this is a foreign world. The first 2-3 days, 1 week, the baby is very nice. We used to say, what is these people that, these things that people say, the children disturb. Ona naoga analala. You even start thinking, these things that people were saying, they're never true. Hey, until they realize they're in this world and they are here to disturb you. And, they have their world is wrapped around your own, okay? Or your own is wrapped around them. So in the second week is when now the drama of restless nights began. And at that time, we didn't have all the info that the now time moms have, that you can create a night routine for your child. Where? We didn't know that you can keep your baby awake during the day and then at night they sleep. We did not know all that at all. So it was a matter of you struggle with your child and find your way in whichever way. So we had so many restless nights, I think from the second week of Asha coming. And that is when I think the hunger, which we tell her, Yani, we have not slept a wink in the night. And he had this behavior of sleeping when the sun rises at around 6. Go and hustle for us. That time we were hustling through. So you would find the restless nights were so many. The sleepless nights were so many because of colic, and the exchange of sleep was so many. And we would crave for the day our younger brother, my brother-in-law, would come from school. That time he was in high school. Asha in the first 3 months, and Asha would absolutely be calm around his hands. Wacha tu atransferiwe akuje kwa yangu or akuje kwa. These ones are to be disturbed, but this one is my uncle, So he would really, we loved when he would come home for midterm or come home for holiday. It was amazing. He would help us because he's a night person. So he would stay up watching movies and then we would sleep. We just give him Asha and Asha would sleep in his hands. If he dares transfer him on the seats, okay, Des, thank you. You helped us. So he would dare transfer him on the seat or on his baby cot, the baby would wake up. So he would just sit up virtually the whole night, holding him, and then us would sleep. So he really helped when he would come around.
On the next episode of Momversations.
So that particular night, the baby did not sleep at all. And Des was there. My brother-in-law, the one now that was, managing him very well. So we wonder what was wrong with the baby. And it was dire crying. The boy cried. We washed him. He showered in the night at around 4. We cleaned him and he still was not keeping quiet.
Thank you for watching this episode of Momversations. If you've enjoyed it, give us a like and drop a comment in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Catch you on the next one. God bless you.